Welcome, class, to Recipe Reviews 101, where we teach you how to look at a recipe and understand what's going on with it. Today we're going to be looking at a really interesting recipe called Chettinad pepper fried chicken. Try that again. Welcome, class, to Recipe Reviews 101, where we teach you how to look at a recipe and understand what's going on with it. Today we're going to be looking at a really interesting recipe, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, so forgive me, but Chettinad pepper chicken fry by Twitter user @CookingEbooks. And as always, I will leave a link to the recipe in the description box below. So grab yourself a pen, paper, and a thirst for knowledge, because I'm Professor Kitchen, and class is in session. Well, class, today we're going to look at a pretty intricate recipe, and it is an Indian recipe. And I find, and a lot of times we here in the Western world, we have difficulty with Eastern ways of cooking, especially when you get into India or the Orient, because they use some different techniques than what we do. And so we kind of have to learn some different ways of doing things, which is great. It's always wonderful to learn new techniques and then take them and apply them to different things that nobody's thought of yet. And then all of a sudden you're this master chef because, ooh, look what you did. All right. So today we're going to look at this Chettinad pepper chicken fry. And first thing I'm going to do is warn you that we're going to have to interpret some of this, because this is another one of those situations where the original recipe was written in a non-English language that I can't understand, but then it was shoved through Google Translate, and what comes out isn't necessarily what we really understand in English. So I'm going to do some interpreting. It's not too bad, but there is some room for error because of that. Anyway, let's get going. First, the ingredients. It says 1/2 kilogram of chicken, 2 large finely chopped onions, 2 medium finely chopped tomatoes, 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste, 2½ teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon of coriander powder, 2 whole peppercorns crushed, which is about 2 tablespoons. If you don't want to just sit there and crush them, you can use a pepper grinder. It ends up being the same thing. 2 sticks of cinnamon, 2 pods of cardamom. Now here's one of those weird places because it says 2 nos of cloves. I'm going to assume that what they're talking about is 2 clove pieces, like 2 clove seeds, I guess they're called. I don't know what a NOS, a nos, is supposed to be. 1 bay leaf, 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1 sprig of curry leaf, 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, and then 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. Now you might have to, for the curry leaf, find an Indian or Oriental grocery store in order to get that, or you might have to order some online. All right, how to prepare. First, clean and wash the chicken pieces. And here's what it says. Okay, I'm just going to tell you exactly what it says. Clean and wash the chicken pieces with turmeric powder and drain it. I don't know what that means. Are you supposed to scrub it with the turmeric powder? I don't think so, because they add it again a little bit later. Or maybe you do, because down here it's only saying to add half of the turmeric powder it calls for. Maybe they do want you to scrub it with the turmeric. I don't know. Another one of those things that the Google Translate just didn't interpret well. Maybe it's something I need to look up and see if there's a thing for washing chicken with turmeric. That's a new one on me. All right, then after you have cleaned and washed the chicken pieces with turmeric powder, I guess, and drained it, make sure the chicken's dry. Remember that. Always make sure your chicken's dry before you put it into a pan. Then you marinate the chicken for 1 hour with the chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon ginger garlic paste, and salt to taste. So what you're going to do is you're actually kind of creating a dry rub that you're going to put all over the chicken breast, and then take that, put it on some sort of pan, and put it in the ice box and let it sit there for an hour for the flavors to mingle and absorb into the chicken. Now for this next step, they're asking you to use something that I think is pronounced kadai, K-A-D-A-I. I looked this up, and what this is a cooking vessel that's shaped like a big bowl, kind of like what a wok is, but instead of being used only for high heat like a wok is, it can be used for a bunch of different stuff. So if you have a wok pan, you could probably use that in place of a kadai. It looked like you could anyway from the pictures I saw. It says, heat a kadai with oil and add cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, fennel seeds, and bay leaves and saute for a minute. So you're getting all the dry spices in there and you're starting to get the flavors going. You're heating it up, getting those oils coming out of them. It said, add finely chopped onion and saute until onion turns to translucent. Standard way of cooking onions for a recipe, but you're using the spices that are already in there to go ahead and season the onions at the same time. Then add ginger garlic paste. Saute well so that the paste doesn't get burnt. Yeah, you're going to have to keep that sucker moving because pastes do tend to burn easily. Next step, add chopped tomato pieces and smash it using the ladle. Now add the coriander powder and mix well. Add 1/4 cup of water into the masala and reduce the flame to medium. It's interesting, what you're going to do here is you're going to add the chunks of tomato and then you're going to take your stirring implement, like a ladle is what it's recommending, and you're going to squish them. Kind of like what you might do if you're grinding peppers, except you're going to do this inside your kadai or your wok. Now it says to close the kadai and let the close the kadai and let the masala get cooked for 5 minutes until the oil separates. Add the marinated chicken pieces and saute nicely till the moisture in the chicken comes out. Now there will be enough water in the chicken to get cooked. So what they're doing is they're using the natural water that's in the chicken to come out and kind of give it everything a little steam. Now it says adjust the salt and close the kadai in medium flame and cook for 8 to 10 minutes. I think what they're saying here is that you put a lid on the kadai and then cook it over a medium flame for 8 to 10 minutes. When the chicken is cooked, add the crushed peppercorns on top and mix well. So you're adding the black pepper at the very end of it. So you're going to have a lot of striking pepper spice on the front of your palate. Add the lemon juice after switching off the stove. The reason you want to do that is you don't want the lemon juice to evaporate. You want that juice to spread all over everything so you can get that lemony bite to it. Garnish with coriander leaves. Serve with rice and enjoy. This sounds like a very interesting recipe. If you don't live in a big city, you might have difficulty getting some of these things, especially the curry leaf, the ginger garlic paste. If you can't get it at your local grocer, you can probably order that online somewhere. The difficult part, like I said, is getting the curry leaf. Curry is not only a spice mixture in India, but it's also a plant. And the plant doesn't necessarily have to go into the spice mixture. They just happen to have the same name. Have you tried this recipe or one similar? Let me know down in the comments section below. Do you have a recipe you'd like me to go over on recipe reviews? Also let me know down in the comments section or hit me up on Twitter. I'll put my handle around here somewhere. Hope you all have a great week. God bless. Class dismissed.